Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome one, welcome all to Week 9 of HDL Season 4. As usual, I am your host, Hylian, aka Ben Number 1. And today I am currently... Do you ever just regret making a button? Do you ever just regret making a point reward? I can just feel the, yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here energy going on right now. You know what? I'm needing another swig of this. Correct, it is on cooldown. I knew what would happen if I didn't put it on cooldown. Look, I'm just trying not to die from overhydration. Believe it or not, that is a thing. It is possible to die from too much water. And I know full well that if I did not put a cooldown on it, my chat would probably end up killing me from it. It's almost like I've been on the internet long enough. Go figure. Anyway. So, I am currently on my own in here. I don't have any COCOM right now. Little trolling never hurt. Correct. A little trolling does never hurt. Except for the fact that I know my friends, and that little trolling is going to end up being multiplied by 10. So I'm currently on my own right now. I don't have any COCOM, which is really bad because I'm very terrible at solo commentary. So I'm gonna pull a different stop here. If anyone in the chat wants to just fucking COCOM some competitive Pokemon, just speak up now, and I will just drag you in here. Alright, great. Just join a VC and I'll drag you in. Hello?
Hello.
Alright. So we have Jen with us. So we're just gonna jump into some of these matches real quick. So we're gonna start off with myself against Spatula. So this was a match that I was sort of dreading, because for those unaware, Spatula was on a fucking streak. Until this week, he was 7-1. He had only lost a single fight. And I was fully expecting to lose against him too. I did have an advantage of, I have team built with this man. I have been on the same team as this man before. So I know how he builds. I know how he fights. I know how he thinks. So I already had a mental advantage. But at the same time, the same was true for him as well. But it was one of those things where I was like, you know, out of everyone here, I probably have the best chance to beat him. And I also knew that I had to basically outplay him from the start. For those who don't know, Spatula is one of those people where he's a super safe player. The only way you beat Spatula is at team preview. You basically have to prepare in advance. So I knew I had my work cut out for me. And so I put together a team with the help of Wade and Tyler, and you'll see what happens. So it's going to start with me leading with Salazzle against Aegislash. He's going to immediately switch into Rhyperior as I go for the Toxic, having no reason not to. I'm going to switch into Ferrothorn as Rhyperior sets up Stealth Rocks. He's then going to switch into Fortress as I set up my own rocks, followed by a Leech Seed. Fortress is going to Volt Switch into Keldeo. I'm going to switch into Slowking as Keldeo sets up a Substitute. So now I know this is not choiced Keldeo, and that is good information because that changes my entire strategy at this point. So he's going to go for a Scald. He gets the burn. I don't care too much. I'm a Slowking. I'm going to go for Psychic to get rid of the sub. He's going to then switch into Aegislash as I go for a Future Sight. And I'm then going to switch into Pidgeot as he goes for a Shadow Ball, so good prediction on my part. He's then going to go for King Shield, allowing me to just get a free defog to get rid of the rocks on my side of the field. Aegislash is going to take the Future Sight attack, as I'm then going to go for Heat Wave to bring this thing down to just below half, as it goes for Flash Cannon, and I will be able to live one. He's going to switch into Tornadus as I go for another Heat Wave, just in case he didn't switch. I'm going to switch into Zeraora as Torn misses a Hurricane, and then switches into Fortress on my Grass Knot, as I was predicting a Rhyperior switch in. And then going to switch into Pidgeot as he doubles back into Torn, and then I double back into Zeraora. Torn hits the Hurricane this time, and it gets the Confusion, but I do not care, and I just go straight for a Volt Switch, doing over half its health, and I go straight into Diancie, who does not care about the Spurt at all. He's going to U-turn into Aegislash as I then switch into Ferrothorn. Aegislash is going to go for a crit Flash Cannon, and it gets the Spadef drop, but at the same time, it still can't kill me. So I'm just going to Leech Seed on the switch in to get some health back. I'm then going to switch into Pidgeot as Fortress sets up a layer of T-Spikes. Pidgeot gets a little bit of his health back. I then go for Heat Wave on the Glalie switch in, doing over half its health. It's going to Mega Evolve, and it is going to kill me with Ice Shard, but at this point, Pidgeot's done its job. It's applied its pressure. I bring in Salazzle, get rid of the T-Spikes, and then go for Flamethrower on the Torn switch in, before then switching into Zeraora on the U-turn. He's a U-turns into Fortress. I'm then going to Volt Switch into Ferrothorn, as he goes for a Gyro Ball, proccing Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet damage. So his Fortress is nearly dead. I'm going to set up a Leech Seed on the Keldeo switch in to get some more health back. Special then switches into Torn as I switch into Slowking. Torn goes for knockoff, getting rid of my Assault Vest, and that is not good, as I was max defense Slowking. And as I then go for a Future Sight, before switching into Zeraora on the U-turn switch in, I then go for Grass Knot, proccing the Rindo Berry. Rhyperior goes for Stealth Rocks, then it takes damage from Future Sight, and then dies to Poison. So, you know, it dodged the first nuke, but then the second nuke dropped, and it just didn't have a response.
You think you're safe. No, you're not.
To be completely real, I completely forgot that I even had Future Sight still on the board.
That does happen.
So my entire thought process there, for those unaware, is I had Grass Knot solely to deal with Rhyperior. Rhyperior has an ability known as Solid Rock, which reduces the damage dealt by super effective attacks. Because of that, I knew the calculations, and I knew that if it was Solid Rock, max Spadef, Rhyperior, I had to get it down to at least 75% health before Grass Knot could OHKO. I ran the math and I knew that if I got a max roll on Grass Knot, it would die to Toxic that turn. I did not account for a Rindo Berry, but thankfully Future Sight just made it so that it didn't matter.
Future Sight really did its role in being an attack that, you know, it's supposed to set up for a future turn.
That was just, it completely worked out. I also wanted to be known, if he just went for EQ there, I would have lost. That would have been the game right there. But he then switches into Torn as I go into Diancie. Torn's going to U-turn into Aegislash. I need this Aegislash dead before I can sweep. I did the math, realized I could kill with Mystical Fire right now. So I Mega Evolve, go for Mystical Fire. I don't have any speed set up right now, so I'm still getting outspeed by everything. Torn's going to land a Hurricane, but I kill it with Diamond Storm. Fortress is going to come in, and I kill that with Mystical Fire. Keldeo is going to come in, and since I do not have Rock Power set up, it is going to be able to kill me with Scald. So Diancie finally gets its first death 9 weeks into the season. As I switch into Zero Aura, kill Keldeo with Plasma Fists. Glalie comes in. I switch into Ferrothorn, knowing an Ice Shard is incoming. Glalie then goes for return, proccing Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet, and I then set up Leech Seed. Before then switching into Slowking, knowing that he's going to click return again, and then I just Leech Seed for the kill. And that was that. That is how I beat Spatula 4-0. Up next, Jen versus Callisto. Jen finally brought new Mons.
Yes. Yes, I did.
I also wanted to be known, I don't even think Jen knows this, I got approached by one of our referees because they thought you violated the rules by bringing Life Orb on your Mega Absol because they forgot about Zoroark.
Interesting. I did,
We didn't realize that it was the Zoroark disguised as an Absol.
That's incredible. I'm gonna be honest. That's incredible that they were like, oh, he's clearly breaking the rules. Like, wait.
Well, no, he didn't realize because it was doing such a good job. Like, his actual message was, I genuinely thought it was the Absol. That's why I was questioning it so much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Zoroark doing Zoroark things. So, we're going to start off with Jen leading with Sandy to Lapras against Thundurus. Sandy's going to live by Focus Sash before going for Ancient Power. No boosts. Jen's going to switch into Lycanroc Midnight, who barely lives a Thunderbolt, procs the Salac Berry. Callisto switches into Vaporeon on the reversal. Oh, dear God. Lycanroc goes for Endure on the Toxic, which unfortunately bypasses Endure, so that's going to be the end of the Lycanroc. Frostlass is going to come in and set up a layer of spikes on the Wish. Gets the second layer off as Vaporeon goes for Toxic once again. Frostlass gets the third layer of spikes as Vaporeon goes for a Scald. Gets disabled from Curse Body. Frostlass then goes for Rest, eats the Chesto Berry, gets back to full HP. Vaporeon goes for a Wish, allowing Jen to switch into Absol before getting Toxicked. Callisto switches into Incineroar, gets the Intimidate off. Absol goes for Taunt, before then going for U-turn, taking some Life Orb damage, goes into Meloetta, takes 68% from Flare Blitz, before going for Relic Song, transforming, and died. Absol comes back in, goes for Pursuit, killing Incineroar. Vaporeon comes in, gets taunted, goes for Scald, killing the Zoroark, not the Absol. The real Absol comes in and goes for foul play. Gets hit by Scald. Does not get burnt, which is good. Then it's going to Mega Evolve, go for Wish, and die to Scald. Frostlass is going to come in, go for Destiny Bond on the Scald from Vaporeon. Wish gets it back up to full. Goes for Triple Axle. So Vaporeon goes for another Scald. Frostlass goes for D-Bond again. Vaporeon misses the Toxic. Before then going for another Triple Axle. Gets a crit on the second hit. That's nice. Hit by Scald again. Frostlass goes for D-Bond, thus taking Vaporeon down with it. And now we have this 1% Lapras against the World. And unfortunately, the World is super strong.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, because this is my fight, I figure I would give a few things that were going in my head regarding this.
Sure.
So, after I had talked to a few of the people that helped me get this team set up, and they were like, "Oh, you should have opened with Frostlass," and I was like, I'm pretty sure when I was setting this team up, I had planned that just to open with Spikes, and then and then my brain must have forgotten. The other thing that I'm pretty sure I forgot about was how Wish worked, because I thought Wish would only work on the Pokemon that did it. What I didn't know was if you could work on another Pokemon on your team. So if I had known that, I would have the threat that I probably would have done would have been Wish, switch to Lapras. I think Lapras hasn't. I might be wrong, but doesn't Lapras have an ability that it absorbs water damage as health?
Yes, Water Absorb.
Okay, so Water Absorb. If I had known that, I would have switched into Lapras, and then the Scald would have healed, and then the Wish would have happened, and then that would have gone to pretty much
back to full health, basically, at that point.
Yeah. So that was probably just because I didn't. I think what threw me off was when you're opening like with the match. I'm very used to it. Just like you click one mon and then it just sends it out. But apparently Showdown updated it where you get to choose the order.
So
now.
There is actually a reason for that, and that's not actually because of a Showdown update or anything. The reason you had that option is because you had Zoroark on the team.
Oh.
Because for those unaware, the way Illusion works is that Zoroark will always disguise itself as the Pokemon that is in the last slot of your party. So that is why Showdown gave you the option, is because it detected Zoroark on your team, and so gives you the option essentially to decide what you want Zoroark to disguise as.
Huh. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know.
So for future reference, whatever you select for slot 6 is what Zoroark will disguise as.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I'm definitely gonna keep that in for next time, because I'm pretty sure I could have done better for this for sure. But it is what new team. It is what it is.
I mean, I think the important thing is that you have identified what you could have done differently, and that you can then use that information to improve.
Yeah.
It's all about baby steps here at the HDL, all right? We know what it's like. Lord knows I've done stupid shit time and time again.
I can definitely say I have done stupid shit. I don't know if anybody saw the week 1 recap, but I'm pretty sure when mine came up.
Yeah. I mean, if it's any consolation, Callisto actually wound up in a similar situation last season, because in week 1 of season 3, Callisto accidentally brought 3 mons holding leftovers and thus broke item clause.
Oh.
So, this is not the first time that we've had situations like that happen. Like, mistakes happen. It's all about just improving and learning from them.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with mistakes. But I'd say it was pretty. It was pretty good. Calexo definitely did play good. Did play good. I think I was mainly. I think I was. Maybe I could have. What I'm trying to say is I could have done better, and I'll just use the loss to improve for the next week. That's a bit.
Yeah, I mean, definitely looked. This looked really enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Now we have.
Okay.
Then we have. I'm not good at doing commenting, but I might as well try. Here we have Kevin with his team, and then we have Kai with their team.
Yep. So, if memory serves, I believe that the name of this replay was, in fact... yes, the Gilf Hunter became the Gilf Hunted. Why did I name it that?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Anyway, Cam's going to start off with the more you know, the Slurpuff against Venusaur. Is going to immediately Mega Evolve turn 1 on the Sticky Webs before setting up a Toxic. Top heavy, the Claydol is going to come in on a Yawn from Slurpuff. Kai's going to switch into Gliscor on a Misty Explosion. This Slurpuff just wanted to die.
Really unfortunate.
Unfortunately cannot take anything with it, but it was a valiant attempt.
Their sacrifice will be remembered.
Zygarde comes in, goes straight for 1,000 arrows to kill Gliscor. As Gardevoir comes in, Kevin's going to switch into Clefable on a Moonblast. Before Kai then switches into Claydol, allowing Clef to get a free Calm Mind up. Claydol goes for Rapid Spin, getting the speed increase to get rid of the webs. Clefable is going to go for Substitute, proccing the Citrus Berry. As Kai switches into Cobalion on a Draining Kiss, allowing Clefable to just get its health back even more. Cobalion's going to go for an Iron Head to break the sub. It's going to take some more damage from the Draining Kiss. Clefable's going to go back up to full health. Gets hit by Iron Head again, gets the flinch, and then dies to the second one. Zygarde comes in and kills the horse with a ground move, as it does. Venusaur is then going to come in, take 34% from 1,000 arrows, but it is able to get a Toxic off on Zygarde. Zygarde does not care, and continues to go for 1,000 arrows, as Venusaur sets up a Leech Seed. Zygarde still does not care, goes for 1,000 arrows yet again. And unfortunately, Zygarde is going to die through a combination of Leech Seed and Poison. Banette is going to come in as Kai switches into Tyranitar. Banette's going to Mega Evolve, go for a Shadow Claw. Then goes for Will-O-Wisp, which does not work because Dark types are immune to Prankster.
Since Generation 7, Dark is immune to Prankster.
Which is then going to cost Banette by just dying. Before Hitmonlee comes in, goes for a close combat on a Gardevoir switch in. Then goes for knockoff on the getting rid of the leftovers. It is going to get burnt by Will-O-Wisp. Hitmonlee is going to go for Rain Dance to get rid of the Sandstorm. And then switching into Poliwhirl, who's going to take 85% from the Moonblast with a special attack drop. It goes for Muddy Water and misses. Goes for Muddy Water again, gets the hit, dies to Moonblast. Hitmonlee is going to come in, goes for Rapid Spin to get a speed boost, and dies to a Moonblast.
Darn.
Sometimes the Gilfs are too strong.
The Gilfs are too strong. I agree.
They really need to nerf the Gilfs next patch. Wasn't supposed to go for the Zydoge win that early. I mean, 1,000 arrows go burr, though.
1,000 arrows go burr. 1,000 arrows will do it a second time.
Up
And a third.
next, Snazzy, a.k.a. Ben number 2 versus Spooks. Now, for those unaware, these two have a habit of doing dumb shit against each other. Last year, they did their battle while also just watching School of Rock. Why? I don't fucking know. So, as we start out here, Snazzy's going to start with Noivern on the Whimsicott switch. Spooks is going to switch into Quagsire on the Trick, thus getting a Rocky Helmet and giving Quagsire a Flame Ward, which is going to proc. It then goes for Dark Pulse and gets the flinch on Quagsire before going for a Dragon Pulse. Quagsire is going to go for Ice Beam and just one-shot it because it's quad weak to Ice. The ex-wife is going to come in, Mega Evolve, go for a T-Wave, which does not affect Quag, gets hit by Scald, then goes for Hyper Voice to kill Quag. Lopunny is going to come in as Snazzy switches into Galarian Corsola on the Fake Out. Does get disabled, not that it matters. Goodra comes in, gets hit by Strength Sap, which procs Sap Sipper. Goodra then goes for Draco Meteor, allowing Corsola to set up some rocks. Goodra goes for EQ as Goodra sets up Whirlpool. And then goes for Curse on the final Earthquake before dying. Gardevoir comes in, goes for Hyper Voice to barely not kill Goodra. It's going to live in EQ, and Goodra is going to die from Curse damage. Lopunny then comes in as Gardevoir goes for Protect on the Fake Out. However, Lopunny outspeeds anyway and does not care. The Regieleki comes in as Spook switches into Whimsicott, gets hit by T-Bolt for 68%, and it is going to die to the second one. Resisted my ass. Lopunny comes in, it goes for Fake Out, doing half to Regieleki because it's just that fucking frail. But Regieleki is going to kill it next turn with a T-Bolt. Talonflame is going to come in, go for Brave Bird to finish the job. Regidrago is going to come in, go for Dragon Energy to kill Talonflame, as Lycanroc Dust comes in and dies to Dragon Energy.
I love when Showdown has a tendency to say resist. Oh, this resisted 9,000% health done.
Yeah. It's not very effective. I'm on my deathbed, but it wasn't very effective.
Wasn't very effective. It's just a scratch.
Up next, Yaroon against Ben number 3. Yaroon leads with Empoleon against Celesteela. Sets up an Iron Defense on the EQ, proccing the weakness policy on Empoleon, who then goes for Agility. What is this Empoleon doing? Hold the fuck up.
Wait. Can you... I don't know if you can turn back the turns. Can you turn back that just for people to see again?
So, disclaimer, I have not seen this match. What is this Empoleon on? It's...
Iron Defense. Earthquake.
It's turn... It's turn 2. It's turn 2, and this Empoleon is practically omni-boosted.
I can hear the Mass DDD theme from here.
Fucking Mass DDD intensifies. What the actual fuck?
Petition to do all Ben games consecutively from now on.
Approved.
Approved. I second approve this.
What is this Empoleon is just, what? I'm scared. What is this bully gonna do? Gets hit by Leech Seed. Goes for Power Trip. Gets hit by EQ. Oh my god. This is what we're about, I guess. Oh my god.
So this is the power of Ultra Instinct.
Then it's going to switch in Obstagoon. It's going to take 27% for Power Trip because it is a Dark type, and it's going to die to Rocky Helmet damage. But, oh my god, that was terrifying. Melon Man's going to come in, Mega Evolve, kill Obstagoon with a Drain Punch. As Azumarill is going to come in, Urine switches into Dragalge, dies to Play Rough. Ninetales comes in before switching into Lando T, getting the Intimidate on. Ben's going to switch into Arcanine.
Intimidate swap.
Before then switching into Salamence, who gets hit by Smackdown for 22% because this thing's a -2 attack. Salamence is going to go for a D-Dance as Lando goes for a U-turn into Ninetales. Mence is going to go for Dual Wing Beat to kill Ninetales. Gets intimidated by the Lando switch in. Goes for Roost to get its health back up. Mence is going to go for another D-Dance to get that increased increased attack. It's going to barely live an EQ. It goes for Dual Wing Beat again. It barely does not kill Lando, and it will die to an EQ. Azumarill is going to come in, go for Aqua Jet to secure the kill on Lando. Blissey's going to come in on a Celesteela switch in, go for T-Bolt, gets the para, and then kills with the second T-Bolt. Manectric comes in on the Gallade switch in, Mega Evolves, goes for Toxic. So then switches into Blissey, getting hit by a T-Bolt for 19%. Manectric's just going to go for Toxic again. Blissey's going to go for Fire Blast, doing 51%. Barely more than half health. Manectric's going to Volt Switch into Arcanine. As Blissey's going to go for Fire Blast, doing damage. So this Arcanine is not Flash Fire, which, I mean, makes sense because we saw Intimidate. It's going to get a crit Flare Blitz, just annihilate Mega Gallade. And then go for Psychic Fangs to put Blissey in toxic damage, and Blissey's going to die. Very, very well played on both sides.
Good stuff, good stuff.
I am still quaking in fear over that Diancie. Or the Diancie, Empoleon.
I hope I hope I don't have to face that Empoleon.
I am so glad that Yaroon and I memed so that he could not bring that against me. I would have just forfeited. That's terrifying. It's just absolutely terrifying.
It would... I think if I had that... If I was in... Ooh, let me try to speak. If I encountered that, and that happened to me, I would just be praying to the gods. Oh, please let me live.
If I encounter that, I'm just running away. I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Also a valid strategy. Right? And this
next...
one we...
Oh, sorry.
I actually don't know the names of the teams who's gonna do it.
So we have Sandy, aka the Old Blood, versus the Zubats out of Hell, Tyler. These two did a whole gimmick where their Mons were the next Mons below them in terms of their moves. So Cinderace could only use moves that Inteleon knows, and so on. I don't know why they did it, but they did.
It'd be funny.
It is funny. So, we're going to start with Bubble 07, the Cinderace, against Piloswine. It's going to immediately go for U-turn, going into the Mega on the Stealth Rock setup, goes for Giga Drain, gets hit by Icicle Spear, only gets 2 hits, so barely lives, and gets a Giga Drain off to kill Piloswine. Zard comes in, Mega Evolves, gets hit by Shadow Ball for 25%, gets the Spadef drop, Zard's going to go for the Weather Ball, which will kill. Sandy's then going to bring in Cinderace, goes for Power Herb Bounce, gets the paralysis. Zard gets full parrot, and then dies to Acrobatics. Skarmory then is going to come in, get hit by a crit U-turn, proccing weak armor. Sandy goes into Kecleon. Skarmory then sets up a curse, so now it's just, it basically de-danced now. Before then switching into Crocodile, which does not care about Charge Beam at all. Hitmontop is going to come in on the EQ from Crook. Hitmontop will then go for Fake Out, getting the flinch. However, it will die to Earthquake in the following turn, giving Crocodile a Moxie boost. Also, yes, good morning, General Chat. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Cinderace is going to come in and just annihilate this thing with a U-turn before switching into Muck on a Tapu Lele switch in. It's going to double into Melmetal, getting hit by a crit Nature Power with a Spadef drop before then getting hit by a crit Focus Blast. And then getting hit by another Focus Blast after switching into Kecleon. Goes for Shadow Ball to get some damage off. And then gets hit by Psychic. Cinderace is going to come in. Gonna switch into Skarmory. Goes for Acrobatics. Does 20%. Procs weak armor. Skarmory goes for Curse. So yet again, we effectively just have a D-Dance setup on this Skarm. Cinderace goes for U-turn, proccing weak armor again before switching back into Muck.
Going all D-Dance.
Skarm's going to go for a Drill Peck as Muck goes for Curse itself. Barely lives the next Drill Peck. Goes for Explosion. Does not kill, but lord, that hurts. And finally, Cinderace comes in, barely lives, goes for a Sucker Punch, and kills Skarm. As Tapu Lele comes in and dies to Acrobatics. And then Sock comes in and dies to Acrobatics. The 1% wonder.
One health in a dream. That was actually really cool to watch, I'm gonna be honest. I usually see it where they're on one health.
Oh fuck, I'm done. I thought you said crit Nature's Madness, and I'm like, how the fuck does that crit? And finally, we have Clay versus Wade. There was a lot riding on this match, because this was basically determining which one of them was still in top cut by the end of this week. We're going to start with Wade leading Bronzong against Torn. Torn's immediately going to go for a Dark Pulse as Bronzong sets up rocks before switching into Lady Gaga, the Primarina. Torn goes for U-turn, going into Audino. Wade's going to switch into Bronzong on the Toxic, which misses. Goes for Heavy Slam on the Wish. Mawile is going to come in, getting hit by Heavy Slam, but Wish is going to bring it back up to full. It's then going to go for Stealth Rocks itself, proccing the Shuka Berry by getting hit by Earthquake before going for Iron Head the next turn. Does not get the flinch. Takes more damage from Heavy Slam. Goes for Sucker Punch. Does not get the kill. And then they just both die to Explosion. Why were there so many explosions this week?
Kaboom.
Typhlosion comes in, going for Overheat on Torn. It is going to kill it after Torn sets up Tailwind. Muck is going to come in, getting hit by yet another Overheat. Goes for Knockoff to get rid of the Specs. Switches into Audino as Typhlosion is just going to continue to go for Overheat. It does not care. Switches into Primarina as Audino goes for Wish. Prim's going to get up a Calm Mind before getting hit by Toxic. Audino gets back up to full health. Clay's going to switch back into Alolan Muck, who barely lives a Moonblast. Muck is then going to proc the Custap Berry, go for Poison Jab, do a shit ton of damage before dying a Moonblast. Primarina is still living, barely. Darm's going to go for U-turn, going back into Outta as Preem goes for Scald, does not kill Outta, gets the burn before dying to Toxic. Primarina is basically on no health right now. Garchomp comes in, Primarina Mega Evolves, dies to a crit Earthquake, not that it mattered. Mew is going to come in on an Earthquake before going for D-Dance. Mew does not outspeed, and is going to die to the second Earthquake, and then Darmanitan is going to come in and is dead. It's gone. That's it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff. So, here is the MVP table for this week. In first place is Nibiru, the Diancie. Torquoise and Pony, the Keldeo, is in second. OU Slap-On, the Lando T, is in third. Hippo Roofing, the Skarmory, is in fourth. Blue Beetle, the Mega Heracross, is in fifth. Chew 5 Gum, the Regidrago, is in sixth. Terrafin, the Garchomp, is in seventh. Lola Bunny, the Mega Lopunny, is in eighth. Mega Glalie is in ninth. Pogadile, the Tentacruel, is in 10th. Plasma Fists, the Zeraora, is in 11th. Egg V2, the Tapu Lele, is in 12th. Lady Gaga, the goddamn Primarina, is still here. It's in 13th. Get this thing off the sheet already, please. Megamind, the Slow King, is in 14th. And Bad Son, Mega Charizard Y, is in 15th. In terms of transactions for this week, we had a couple, I think, which have not yet been put in, but know that as of this coming week, Wade has dropped Rotom for Serena, and Kevin has dropped Togetic for Type Null. So those will be going into effect following this broadcast. Here are the team standings. I am in first. Sandy is in second. Spatula is right behind him in third. Tyler is in fourth. Callisto is in fifth. Wade is in sixth. Yaroon is in seventh. Tied with Spooks, actually. Clay is in 8th. Ben number 3 is in 9th. Kevin is in 10th. Snazzy's in 11th. Kai is in 12th. And Jen is in 13th.
I do be at the bottom, but mark my words, I will work my way up the ladder and get myself as high as I possibly can.
I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. I am rooting for myself, too.
And finally, here's the schedule for this coming week. Week 10. I am fighting Callisto. Kai is fighting Spatula. Snazzy is fighting Jen. Ben number 3 is fighting Kevin. Tyler is fighting Spooks. Clay is fighting Yaroon. And Wade is fighting Sandy. We are nearing the end. Playoffs are just a few weeks away. Who is going to end up at the top cut? Who's going to end up making it to playoffs? We're going to find out soon enough. So, I will see you guys here next Sunday for the Week 10 recap. I will see you guys then.
Double digits.